many of us have not had that experience inside of the MLM or network marketing kind of environment. In fact, I remember when I first started, I did not want to join one. And funny enough, that shouldn't be offensive to any of you, but some of you, in fact, probably most of you might have felt that way sometime in the past. What happened to me was a buddy called. We had just found out that we were expecting our first baby. My wife and I were so excited, and we were pretty broke still, and stuff was challenging. I was in college. She had already graduated, but I was still in school full time, and I really didn't have time to work like a job. So we were living on student loans, and things were tight, like really tight. And I mean, on the outside, looking outside, you'd be like, oh, they're totally fine. But on the inside, what it started doing was started kind of like challenging my sense of manhood, okay? And I was like, I don't know if I can provide. I don't know if I can. Anyway, it was rough on me. And I remember that I started looking for opportunities to make some extra cash. And I started trying businesses and launching stuff. And I was doing all kinds of stuff. And nothing really seemed to be working. It was... I remember I was staying up super late, getting up really early and studying and then doing stuff. I wasn't stuck in learning loops. I was actually trying businesses. I was trying to sell stuff. Nothing was really working. So my buddy, he and I in college, we were super competitive, and his name was Trevor. And Trevor and I were really competitive in college for the first 2 years or whatever, and then he graduated before I did. But Trevor, I remember one day he called and he reached out to me and he goes, dude, hey man, and he and I were trying to do something in real estate at the time. He goes, hey man, I got this guy. He's on the line right now. He's gonna help us make a bunch of money. I don't quite know how it works. You gotta talk to him. Now, those of you guys who've been in MLM or network marketing in any amount of time, you have heard that pitch, right? That's the standard pitch that you're taught by your upline. And I didn't know that. And my perception of what network marketing and MLM at the time was bad, okay? Was bad. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment here because, anyways, I'm just being real about it. Is it okay if I'm open and honest here with you guys? I want you to feel with me what it was like for you when you first heard about the MLM that you're in, okay, or network marketing that you're in, okay? And I want you to walk with me on this journey because this is a big deal to understand. And so anyways, my buddy calls me and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, some dude wants to help us make money? Heck yeah, man. Three-way him in. I don't even know what a three-way was or that my phone could do that. And I remember he gets on the phone with me and this guy, great guy, right? Nothing against them, nothing against the fact that this is what happened, but this is what's taught, right? This is like the standard in MLM. And no one get offended yet. Stick with me through this, and I promise you guys will like where this is going. I got a nice little treat here for you as we go forward. But anyways, he calls, I answer, and I was like, as soon as he started talking, I was like, why do you want me to pay a little bit of money in order to join this thing? I was like, shouldn't I just be able to do it? And I started fighting him on it. And I was that guy. I was not the friendly guy on the other side of the phone, okay? I was actually a bit of a, I wasn't a jerk, but I wasn't fun to be around either, okay? And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Is this one of those MLM pyramid things? That's what I asked him. Oh. And I remember the sinking feeling in my stomach showing and my throat kind of tightened because I felt like my buddy, right? And it's totally fine that he did this. But at the time I was like, I was a little bit peeved, man. I was a little bit mad. All right. I was mad that he did that. And I hung up and I was like, absolutely not. Don't ask me to do that again. Right. That's what I said to his upline. I didn't even know the word upline at that time. Anyways, he calls back. My buddy does. Trevor does immediately afterwards. And he goes, dude, what the heck, man? You would be awesome for this. You would be so good. I was like, man, I don't want to join one of those pyramid things, man. Is that even allowed? Is that you know what I mean? I was such a greenie that those are the types of questions I was asking, which you listening, watching to, reading this right now can understand. Remember when you had those also? People have questions. And I had questions at that time. So what happened was I ended up, saying, you know what, dude, I'll do it for you. I'll jump on in. And I joined his downline. I go and I drive in my car to meet the guy that I had just kind of chewed out on the phone, which is a little bit awkward. And I sit down across the table from him and he basically says, he goes, you want to be successful in MLM, right? And I was like, well, yeah, I wanted to pay for this brand new little baby we're so excited to have, in a couple months. And he goes, yeah, you could totally do that. Absolutely. He goes, you know what? He goes, you know what? If you want to be successful, it makes sense that you got to do what successful people do, right? I said, yeah, that makes complete sense. He's like, all right, this is what successful people do. They write out a list of the people in your phone who you would be a great fit for this, and we're going to call them. And I was like right now? Like I was already uncomfortable. All right, so we started writing down this big list, and he didn't let me leave until we called. So we started calling, and I remember I still remember. I remember his name. I don't want to say the name. I remember who it was. I remember it very well because it was a hard situation for me, and it didn't go well, and it still kind of soured some of the relationship. To this day, we still don't really talk anymore. All right. What's up, dude? Hey, man. This guy's gonna help us make a bunch of money, and I don't quite know how. Do you mind if I three-way him in, and he'll tell you about it? Sure. All right. That sounds good, dude. And that's when I threw my first home party. And I threw a home party, and anyway, stuff did not go well. And in fact, it got so awkward because I started, guys, when I do something, you might be like me, I go all in. So I called everybody in my phone. I reached out to so many people, and I went hard, and people were like, no. And it got really, really awkward. Well, after, I don't know, probably after a few weeks of running really hard at this, and I was attempting to do this. I was going full in, what I thought was full in. I realized that there might be another way to this. And I was sitting down, and I was trying to figure out how these other guys were actually being successful in MLM. Well, anyways, that was like my first big experience in the MLM/network marketing space.